Well, hello everyone. I'm Garrett Weinzerl. This is Kyle Ferguson from Into the Nexus on amove.tv, and we are sitting here with two of the developers from Heroes of the Storm, live from BlizzCon. Well, not live when you're actually watching this, but that's how life works. Welcome, both of you. John, we just spoke with you.
Yep.
So I will have the newcomer introduce himself.
Yeah, my name's Claudio Gentilini. I'm one of the design producers working on Heroes of the Storm.
And I'm John DeShazer. I'm one of the lead battleground designers.
So there's a lot of awesome stuff for Heroes that was just announced here at BlizzCon. One is sitting behind us. Ragnaros the Fire Lord was the big surprise. First off, great job on that trailer. I'm used to getting excited for Heroes trailers because they're usually very humorous and play on the fandom. But this one gave me chills, the likes I didn't know a Heroes trailer could. Great job and great reveal.
Thanks. Yeah, our team and cinematics team just killed that video. We got to see it early on, and it's so much different seeing the storyboarded version and then transferring over to the everything's high resolution. It's really good.
The funny part about that video is actually our lead systems designer actually had like a tear coming out of his eye the first time he saw that video. He loved it so much.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it wasn't in game, right? That was a full cinematic. It was beautiful.
Yeah, it's the same way. Yeah, we build a lot of them the same way.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So the character's an assassin, which we just got done playing him. He's got regeneration. He actually has a stasis where he can jump underground. How do you end up on assassin? And he has so much power in the push lane too. And then once you get the fort, you keep pushing.
Yeah. So we toyed around between specialist and assassin. A lot of people are like, "Oh, Rag could be a warrior too," and so we toyed back and forth with it. Ultimately, he just does a lot of damage. A lot of our specialists do a lot of our specialists do a lot of damage too. But Rag's he's over the top. He's the raid boss. Like assassin was just a natural place to put him, and lava wave and his submerge that takes him down at level 20. He has a lot of tools in his toolkit, but there's a lot of counterplay to him too.
Oh, I'm particularly excited. One of the first things I want to know is, can you hit the core while you're a fort? And you can, with the rain and the rune.
Yeah, two of the abilities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The big old swing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
it's our first swing. Yeah. On his Q. Yeah.
That's what it's about.
It's big once you take over the destroyed fort in your enemy's area. Yeah.
So, Varian was the other one. You guys captured it with certainly World of Warcraft, you got the 3 different kinds of warrior. Are you concerned about the sort of obvious problem that'll happen? The first pick Varian, who goes, "Guys, I'm not tank." And then the Merkeys and the Abathur start showing up and everyone's saying, Varian, you got a tank. Is there maybe a tool you guys are thinking of implementing to help that communication level between the players?
We have the Battle.net voice chat. We do have plans to integrate it into the client. I think that'll help. You obviously have text and stuff right now. But we were actually chasing that first pick Varian for our draft. If you're on the other team and you see first pick Varian, what is he?
Yeah,
is he melee assassin?
Yeah.
Is he a warrior? So he's our draft buster, right? And we're really embracing that side of him, and we want to see what esports are going to do with it. We're going to see what he does to Hero League, and I think it's just going to be an amazing just wrecking ball that just kind of rolls in.
And also, kind of one of the fun things is right now, even in our tournament that you're watching, is you're seeing a lot of double tanks, and so. Even if you have a variant and another tank, you don't know if he's going to switch to heavy DPS at level 10 or if he's going to have a second tank option for your team, right? So you really don't know what this hero is doing to you at any given moment. Like, he can change it up. And sometimes we might even start seeing metas where you think he's going to be the tank and they switch into full DPS mode. Who knows, right? That's kind of the fun part about the whole thing. And I think in Quick Match, you can get away with that. And so there's different metas and different times of the game experience, especially in brawls. Like if he slots in as a warrior and you pick him and then you go assassin, I think that's fine, right? I think it'll be fun, right? And so really kind of excited about how he kind of changes the battleground, right? So.
Yeah, having a hero that can, through talents, decide which role they are in. It is groundbreaking for the game of Heroes of the Storm. But once it was announced, once you get to see it on Varian, and that he is a class, he is the warrior from World of Warcraft. It makes so much sense. But like I said, it was groundbreaking. So at what point was he designed from the ground up to be that, or did you kind of find that along the way in the development of the hero?
Well, like I said, I don't think Claudio or I or either of us were the key implementer of this hero, but they definitely wanted to develop him as a multi-class hero. So they were definitely, from the ground up, focusing on that as the fantasy. And then I think there was a lot of times where they weren't sure at what points were the breaking points, if they wanted it to be all the power into the ult, or if they wanted different abilities. And I think they actually landed on a pretty sweet, position, because at level 4 there's a huge decision point of, do I want to make my parry block all abilities, not just auto attacks, right? And so there's a moment of basically invulnerability, making you incredibly durable. But that doesn't mean you can't be just a really durable assassin at 10. So at this point you kind of tease them, oh, I think he's going tank because he took that talent. But then you can take the shattering blows at 16 that break shields, and like, okay, that's also a really cool talent because it's kind of a counter assassin talent, but that's also viable on a tank. So you really have a lot of different options all the way through all of the talent tiers that are, important decision points that really make the character play differently. Even though 10 is the pivotal point, right, between Prot Warrior, Fury Warrior, and Arms Warrior, which is kind of what the 3 specs feel like, right? So we kind of love that experience. Did you have any?
Yeah, I mean, just from the ground up, like early discussions were like, how can we key the art into it too? So like you guys have probably seen him, like if you go taunt at 10, he pulls out a shield, or he does like the big 2-handed sword, or he has like the 2 super fast attacks. And we were totally talking about those things early on, and those were all key decisions and kind of pushing him in the direction we ultimately chose for him.
I really like that, the heroic strike, the passive he has.
Yeah.
And that allowed you to make the character have such a through line, even though he can go 3 different ways. It's still the same ability. It's not like, oh, I picked this and now percents and math come in. It's like a transformation, but the character remains cool. You guys mentioned a lot of double tanks happen at the esports. Mm-hmm. What are you guys thinking of Dahaka? And then you announced too that you're making him a solo warrior too.
Yeah.
Does that just mean he's going to gain adaptation the way I always hoped it would be, which was 100% heal? Or are you going to take back some of the things he has now that's making him so popular in the games we're watching?
Yeah, I was watching with some of the balance designers. I work with them directly, and we've definitely given him more tools for his toolkit. We made adaptation 100%, like you said, and we've allowed him to cancel burrow, similar to how we changed ice block in the past, where we let you change to come out of it when you want to. And we're seeing a lot more Dahaka this time around than we had before, and so we have him going to PTR next week, so we'll see what the players do with him and what the pros are talking about and streamers, and we can't wait to get the community feedback on it. And if we have to tone him back, that's something we love to do. It's just iteration is our thing, right? So whether it's a week later, 2 weeks later, a month later, we'll make changes if we have to, but we're not taking too many pieces away from him. We're just shifting some things around and then giving him some more tools.
John, we recently had you on the show. We talked a lot about the battlegrounds that you have had a hand in designing, and we got a new map for Brawl announced here at BlizzCon. Where did the idea, when did you get brave enough to just be like, yeah, let's go for an asymmetrical map. Let's go for one side attacking, one side defending.
Well, this is actually something that we've been wanting to do for Brawls, or actually in Battlegrounds in general, and we just kept going, can we do it in this one? And no, asymmetry, there's so many challenges to make asymmetry feel balanced, even if it's not. So I guess there's 2 real challenges with asymmetry. One, to make it perfectly balanced, and 2, for the perception of it to be perfectly balanced, right? And with asymmetry, the second one's almost impossible, right? Everyone always feels like, oh, this one's a little stronger. And so we always just kept on going, this would be really cool to do asymmetry on this battleground. Oh, we can't do it. So it's actually something that our bullpen is constantly wanting to do. And so when we made Brawl, we knew this is the great time to do it, because we can throw it in there. It's something that exists for only a couple weeks, so the meta around that Brawl is something that you can't really fully understand every aspect of it, within a short window. So the meta is going to constantly change and shift, and there's not going to be like, oh, this is the only way you play the Brawl, and it's done, right? And so that's what I'm really excited about when we introduce these new Brawls, because then maybe the next time I bring back Blackheart's Revenge, I change up how you select your heroes, or we do a different, there's a little twist to it. And every time we do that, we get, a new and fun experience that makes it so that players don't have 100% of an idea of what to do on these battlegrounds. And that's what really, I think, kind of the strength of asymmetry is, if I can keep the target moving and you don't really know exactly where it is, that's kind of why I felt like it was okay to do as a Brawl. And also Brawls, if it was 1% favored or a couple percent favored in one direction versus the other, they're 5-minute games. I think it's okay to have just focus a little more on the fun than on the hardcore balance, because that's kind of what our focus is for Brawl in general. And so that really is kind of what tied into all of it.
Yeah, well, I think that's part of what's impressive too. Is you still clearly have. It seems like you've gotten it very close to balance, and even though it is Brawl, because so many people can look at it and go, well, it doesn't need to be. It's just fun. They don't need to care. But you have taken the time and the effort to see that you can get it as balanced as you possibly can.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, one of the final implementations of the battleground that we added to make it a little more fair was the teleporter, because it was really easy to defend at first, because it was like since we had the 2 bridges and trying to take the cannonballs to the cannons, it was kind of easy to lock them down and force them to very predictable telegraphed lanes or directions that they're going to go. And so adding that teleporter mechanic really actually just tilted the favor back towards the other side about being very aggressive. And then we added a quick reveal, so now if you're carrying the cannonball, you're always revealed. So now it also really upsells the mechanic of that CTF almost moment where you're carrying an object and you need to run it to a destination, right? And so there's a little kind of mini CTF gameplay moments where I'm taking that cannonball, running to the cannon, and channeling and firing it. And so, we know where they are now. They have the cannonball. Now chase them, get them, and then their whole team has to come defend this player. Well, this player has to run off and try to fire the shot, and that really kind of tied the whole experience together, and that's what we got really excited about.
It's, first of all, just absurd that it has custom voice acting, custom assets. It's a whole beautiful thing, and it's the free, funsy kind of side thing to do. Does it? Are you eager to maybe have those things become more permanent just because you put so much work into them? To see them go at the end of the week, does it hurt?
Yeah, it's definitely going to hurt.
Yes.
But this is the first Brawl ever we're actually breaking our rule, and it's going to exist in Brawl for 2 weeks. And some of the Brawls that we like and we thought we put a lot of effort into and that the community has a good engagement with are the ones we'll bring back more often. We're always willing to bring back Brawls that were really fun for people to play. That's kind of one of the, like you said, the content of Heroes of the Storm is a little harder to make than some of the other games that have Brawl type style modes. So we're going to have repeat a little more than some of the other ones because we would definitely like to bring the quality bar up and have some really fun stuff. Some of the mutators like Hammer Time that we had, that one's a little easier for us to make, so we don't feel as inclined to necessarily repeat that one as often. But the arena modes we really love, we think they're fun. This is the mode where we're going to allow ARAM to exist, so we're going to bring back ARAM because we know that's a very popular experience in MOBAs. And then Blackheart's Revenge, we really love how it feels and how it plays, and so we're going to bring that one on back on occasion too.
Now I'm sure you have been working really hard on Haunted Mines.
Of course.
And it's coming back. My first reaction when I saw Rag was, oh no, there's a downstairs with no forts. I just got done playing Rag. I think he'll be okay without a fort.
So yeah, I mean, I think Rag is actually incredibly strong on that map, but I also think that he does have a moment where he doesn't get to use his trait, and hide, make himself a big raid boss down below, and I think that's cool too. Like, there's definitely in Battlegrounds in general, we're always looking for heroes to have their time to shine, and then also their time where they feel kind of like a standard hero. And I think that's fine for giant, over-the-top heroes like Rag. When he's in that mine, you don't have to worry about that trait right now. You just have to focus on collecting the skulls and fighting those. Have you guys actually got to look at the layout on the new Haunted Mines? They showed it briefly.
Yeah, showed it in the panel a little bit.
I have not. Have you?
You had a lot of beautiful crystals, but other than that, I couldn't see what is. I love that it's in the middle, of course, because it's not such a blind gauntlet to get in there. You've broken the rhythm too, which was a religion of we lost the skulls, quick, get the bruisers. No, don't take that camp now. It has to push during X time when we're all in the mines. So I think you really transformed it back into something that can be more organic and fun, rather than almost what it became, which was so, Sylvanas, right?
Well, that was actually definitely our goal with the rework, is to basically make it so that this Battleground is something that can be, I guess, feel like it has a better replayability. Mines, I think it kind of felt stale, even though a lot of people had loved the experience of the above and the below. We definitely wanted players to feel like every part of the map was important. There wasn't one lane that you pushed and one lane that you ignored. We didn't want, this is when you take Siege Giants or you yell at your teammates. We didn't want any of those experiences, and so we definitely had to do that rework, and so that's why we took it offline and spent some serious time on it.
So back to Ragnaros real quick.
Absolutely.
I'm assuming he can cast his wave alt from below in the mines?
So the wave alt is global. So wherever he is, he can cast it, but he has to target a lane, and that's where the lava wave will go down. And it'll destroy everything in its path that's a minion. And then obviously threaten heroes, so don't get caught in it.
Yeah, don't get caught.
And then it does good damage to mercs, but it doesn't wipe them out completely.
Okay, I was just curious because it's the only battleground where there's like those two kind of zones.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, let's see. I need to hit my notes here, man.
That's fine. One of the things, and feel free to just say you can't answer it, but we have gotten a lot of our listeners from Twitter asking what the status is with Brightwing 2.0.
So Phil Gonzalez, who's our lead character artist, he jumped on Reddit and got a lot of conversation started about it. I think he even showed Brightwing 2.0. We're still considering it. We have to be really careful just because we have a lot of fans of the current Brightwing, and some people have already said, don't change it. We don't like the new one, we like the old one, and we definitely see that every time we look to update a model. We do have some new tech probably coming online next year that can probably satisfy both groups, and so can't really go into details about it, but there should be something that's coming that allows both to get what they want.
Well, I appreciate the tease. Thank you for that. That sounds exciting.
Yeah.
Is that, I mean, so what you teased at, I mean, is that kind of like the cute Ragnaros? Is it too much work? You guys are making such stellar skins, and then of course we heard tease that the Diablo's coming, the Diablo 3 skin. How does that pipeline work, and do you guys feel maybe stretched too thin to deliver the continued updates? Are we going to see a slowdown next year for you guys as the quality goes up in these other avenues?
Definitely not. Next year is we already have so much stuff on the books. I mean, we're like 6-7 months into development for next year already. We're not slowing down at all. If anything, we're getting faster. Our modelers especially are focused on our new content that's coming, our new skins, our launch skins, all of that stuff. Our focus is not so much on going back and updating older things. So we will at some point hit a point where we'll go back and hit those models, but we don't have a team dedicated to that. Like, we have a live design team that's dedicated to the live balance of the game and all of those talent updates that we've been doing for older heroes. So we don't have the same dedicated assets on the art side. They're totally just forging ahead on all the awesome models and art that they're doing.
Good to hear. What's the next community question we've got?
Okay, here's a good one. So, when you're doing when you're updating the older models, is that going to affect their attacks, their changes? Because one thing, we talked a little bit about the Haka earlier, lots of people have cited that the tongue is slower than maybe it could be, or that Misha has control issues, but those might be worked into the power of the hero. Or is that something in the design process that you found that, the Dahaka tongue just sort of was a bit clunky, but it's too powerful to not be, so you didn't fix it? Or are those conscious decisions?
It's very, very conscious decisions. We can basically, with our teams, with tech artists, animation, balance designers, hero designers, we can fudge the numbers however we want to. That tongue could be instant if we wanted to. Obviously, really good if it's instant, right? That's why something like Stitches, Dahaka, both super game-changing, very team fight breaking abilities. So they are introduced at those speeds, and we have the ability to change them as we need to. So I don't think we've changed the speed on it at all for Dahaka's update. But if there was a problem with it, we could easily have tuned it up if we wanted to.
Before we go, anytime something new is coming down the pipeline, I love hearing what you're excited about from your internal tests. So I noticed while testing Rag, I really liked using the E ability for the AoE to soften up the lane. And if I took Sulfurious Hungers, then smack him with the Q to get my quest really
get the quest credit,
And that seemed to be a combo that was very easy to kind of discover, but kind of whether it's Rag or Varian, what's your own personal favorite thing to do with one of these two new heroes that our listeners can go and try the second they hit the PTR?
I mean, combo wise, that's a really good one. Varian's got High King's quest at level 1. I don't know if you saw it, it's a triple quest, so there's 3 different pieces of it you can complete. So that is a challenge, but it's cool because you can get components of it finished. So maybe you won't even finish all 3 by the end of the game, or maybe it takes you a really long time to get it. But you can finish chunks of it, and you actually get the bonus along the way for those. So that's something I look forward to. And then just Colossus Smash is crazy. His heroic, it makes a target vulnerable. He jumps in their face, and I don't know that there's anything more fun than that. I'm sure John's got it.
Well, for me with Ragnaros, I love to take the lava wave and then have a player play stitches and get gorge. And what we'll do is we'll hook someone and gorge them, and then I'll call down lava wave, and he'll spit them out right in front of the lava wave, so the lava wave will just melt them down. That's super entertaining. So any of those kind of combos like that, or Dahak is another good example, just dragging someone as lava wave. So they're trying to dodge it, and you just sit in the bush waiting for them to like try to leave the lane, tongue them and just pull them right into the lava wave. Those are super fun combos to achieve. And then for Varian, one of the things I love to actually do is I like to, with taunt, I love to take the actual the level 4 talent that lowers the cooldown of charge by I think 10 seconds. I think it's 16 base. It goes down to 6. And it changes it from, I think, a slow or to a stun. Yeah. And so a lot of players will actually end up taking the one that makes them more durable. But if you're going to go taunt, I actually like to take the faster charge because it makes me able to be a better CC character and have more control over the fight in general. And that's something that I think has a lot of value because I love charging. And then when I pull off a taunt, and then they try to disengage, and my charge is already up again, I get to then charge them again instead of constantly preventing them from leaving. And it's really kind of a fun way to play that character. And I think a lot of people are going to immediately go for like the durability, and I think that's it's almost a trap.
Well, and you guys also squeezed in the banners, which are stationary auras, which is just you could just run with a whole character with that all by themselves. It's amazing you put that in there, and then you got the monk rework too, where you can radiant dash to your own spirits you're leaving behind. Are Zeratul players going to feel a little unsticky after these guys who just keep getting movement speed, or is that just he's stealth, you should pop out, you should disappear, he doesn't get that sort of thing unless he takes a heroic that makes him that?
Yeah, so we're definitely conscious of that, and we may have a little something in store for Zeratul players coming in the not too distant future, but can't really go into particulars.
Fair enough. Well, that's good all the same.
Well, fantastic. Well, John and Claudio, thank you so much for your time, and hope you enjoy the rest of the con. I know we will.
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna have a great time. You guys, thanks so much for what you guys do for the community. It's awesome.
Thanks again, guys. I've always loved getting interviewed by you.
Awesome. Well, everyone, definitely go check out Varian and Ragnaros as soon as they hit the PTR.